Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the time of Uthman radiallahu ta'ala an, Hudhayfa radiallahu ta'ala was asked. This man came up to him and he asked, was it you that accompanied Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? He said, yes. What did you do at his time? What could you do for him? He said, wherever possible, we done for him. So this man boldly said to Hudhayfa radiallahu an, he said, Wallahi, if I was at that time with the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would have carried him on my back, not even let him step on the ground. So shocked, Hudhayfa radiallahu anh says, you sure about that? He says that there was one time at the Battle of Khandaq, the trenches, and at this time it was a very hard time. The Muslims were trapped inside of Medina. The enemy were on the outside. They couldn't allow to leave this place. Also, there were certain tribes in the Jews that were trying to cause some rift and trying to attack from the inside. And there was a lot of hardships going on, difficulties going on, a lot of worry inside of the Muslims, a lot of anxiety. And it was cold, it was hard, less food, less supplies. This is a very hard time. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after the salah, he read 2 rakats of salah. He turned around to all of us. All of the main Sahaba were there. And he said, who is ready to go? Who is ready to volunteer? Go behind enemy lines. Sneak over there and find me information. Give me information on what's happening. There was a bit of confusion regarding whether the Jews were part of the whole battle and trying to get in from behind and attack the Muslims. So he wanted some information. Silence fell to the whole of the congregation. Nobody answered this question. So 2 rakats salah start again from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He turns around to the Sahaba, asks one more time. Again silence. Nobody volunteered. The third time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stood up for salah. After the salah he finished, he went to the Sahaba and he said to the Sahaba, who's ready to volunteer? Again, nobody volunteered. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then calls out one person. He goes, Ya Hudhayfa, come here. You're going to volunteer. You're going to be my person that's going to go behind enemy lines and go to the enemy and find me information. Give me this source of information. So Hudhayfa was given this advice by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that while you're there, you're going to only hear and see and observe. You cannot do more than this. Remember, it's cold, it's windy, it's dark, it's raining, there's a lot of worry, it's the middle of the night, there's fear of the enemy, there's lots of things happening. Nobody wanted to go and have this job. Hudhayfa says, I had to go through the wind, the sandstorm, the cold, the darkness of the night and the fear of the enemy attacking me. I went all alone and sneaked out of Medina and went to the enemy camp. I sneaked all the way there and reached where all of the mushrikeen of Makkah were. Abu Sufyan then announced at that time, and he says at that time, everybody come to the middle of the camp. Everybody must come there. Shocking, he gets the shocking news and doesn't know what to do. And he says that another i'lan was made. He says that the person next to you, make sure you verify who they are and ask them who they are. There should be no outsider in this gathering. Hudhayfa then is a bit startled. He grabs the next person next to him, grabs onto his hand. He says, who are you? So the person next to him got even more startled. He's thinking he was the leader of the Quraysh. He didn't answer and stayed silent. So then he was in this gathering of Abu Sufyan and amongst all of the mushrikeen. Again, lots of fear, anxiety. He could be killed at any moment. But he waits there. Abu Sufyan then gets up and makes an announcement to the people. And after many weeks, there's no supplies. He says that we'd rather to return back to Makkah. Supplies are dwindling. Our men are getting tired. It's windy, it's cold, it's rainy, there's a sandstorm. There's so many things. We see no success in sight. We'd rather go back to Makkah. So please, everyone, get up, get your things, and tomorrow we'll make the final decision to go back to Makkah. We see no end in sight here. So Hudhayfa radiallahu, seeing this, hearing this, He sees what's going on, he gets a bit happy. He sees that now they're going to go and retreat back. He sees Abu Sufyan get onto his horse. He rides straight past Hudhayfa. He's about to get his arrow out, his sword out, and he has the chance to kill the leader of Makkah, the leader of the mushrikeen. But then he remembers the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, go only to observe, to hear and to see. Don't do more than this. So Hudhayfa radiallahu an does not attack Abu Sufyan at that stage. And then he sneaks back into the middle of the night, goes back into Medina, and he finds Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam underneath a blanket. And it's cold, he's got his clothes on and everything. Rasulullah sallallahu, he gets his blanket. He calls over Hudhayfa. Rasulullah calls over Hudhayfa and he says, tell me what happened. Hudhayfa then relays the whole story of what happened. And then he makes a dua. And the next morning, what happens is the battle is finally over. Khandaq, the battle of Khandaq in the 5th year of Hijri is now finally over. And now they can go back to their daily life in Medina. And then they can go on. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam blessed and gave dua towards Hudhayfa radiyallahu ta'ala an.